Aussie Cup.
The Aussie Cup, man.
That's the greatest tournament in football history, Aussie Cup.
Man, the one thing that would be my greatest wish is to beat an A-League side. I don't even want to win the cup. Just beat that A-League team.
Mm-hmm.
Get knocked out next round. I don't care.
You're going to have the chance to beat Heaps when you play for Victory next year.
That's it. You beat him. I'm going back to my hometown untouchable. I'm not going to work.
No way you think I'm going to work?
Hell no.
Again? For a year?
I'm calling in sick, and
Definitely.
I'll tell the boss, I'll be like, look, I'll call you when I'm ready to come back to work.
Yeah.
I don't even care what he
contact
says.
you.
Exactly. Block his number straight away as soon as you send that message. So you don't have to see the response.
Yeah, nothing. Tell him, don't contact me, nothing. Don't come to my house. Don't send me emails. Don't send me letters.
Turn everything on offline.
Yeah.
Browse through everything offline mode.
And no one who wasn't talking to me before we won against the A-League team,
Exactly.
you're not allowed to talk to me after.
If you
I don't want a congratulations. I don't want anything from... If I don't talk to you already, don't catch me after I'm famous.
If you want to eat breakfast at dinner time or dinner time at breakfast, do it. Who cares? You just be A-League team.
Yeah, that's
You're
Australia
gonna do that
Cup.
once. Yeah.
Australia Cup,
Live
baby.
in the moment. That's what I say.
Perfect.
I'm looking dark.
Chocolate.
How do you spell it? How do you spell it?
Cadbury. Who? If I'm 75% cocoa, don't make me start with you.
What's the is it 25?
But we... okay. Yep.
Oh, Mitch. You see thing? Kenya's having a re-election soon.
Are they?
Yeah, there's two now.
Is that why you went?
Two candidates.
They split South Kenya and Kenya. Are the he's in South Kenya? He said there's two candidates.
What's he gonna say?
I did say that. It's not a joke. I just saw it on Twitter. No. I was just gonna say who you voting for.
Oh. Mitch.
What's her name? Huh?
Dates.
Oh no. What's wrong with you guys?
I didn't even say that.
You just did.
He's the one who said it. I didn't
If
even
we
think of
edit it,
that.
it's gonna sound like you said it.
I didn't even think of that.
Wait, look at me. That's who he said it.
No, was it?
This is giving me like death set eyes. John D's nuts.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good intro.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Let him show we back again. Squad's here, crew's here. Feeling good, looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Light skins over there.
That's
Born Africa gang over here.
Yeah. DSS over here, baby.
It's your boy MJ, and I'm next to...
It's your boy, Bajolden. Back at it again.
Shut
Another
up.
shift. Elon, entrepreneur, you got all that.
Tell him, man.
And who do we have over there in the light skin?
You know, you just go.
I'll just go, man. I can't be getting called light skinned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. Dad of the group's back.
Nice.
Got oldies versus youngies here today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering what the generational differences will be.
Yep. And I'm bringing energy again. Pengus Tech is slowest to 1 million followers now. You haven't been here since it's become that, but slowest to 1 million followers. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Let's go, baby.
Oh, yeah.
What are you at?
Just a couple thousand, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, Prem season's back. It's been good. It's just good to be able to just be entertained again. I feel like when Prem's not on, you just get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Some people gamble. Yeah, some people party, but no, it's been good. It's been good to see some of the players, I think, after a while. And I feel like we've noticed some interesting things from players that we once thought, oh, this guy's banging. But now we're like, it's a bit strange.
Yeah, definitely.
Strange. But is there any player out there that you reckon he's just kind of dropped off? He's not at that level. to what you thought or what it was common to think. What player is that for you?
This hasn't been talked about enough, actually, this player. I think there's a few boys here that like to sweep this one under the rug. By a few boys, I mean the Arsenal boys. I think you guys know which player I'm leaning towards now. I'll give you. He's 5'3", plays for Chile national team. Alexis Sanchez.
Oh, that's been happened.
What?
That's been happened.
He's bad.
But
he's awful.
The thing is, I'm bringing it up because he didn't get it when he was dropping. During the time he was dropping, no one was giving it to him. Pause. No one was saying this guy's done. This guy's out of now. Like they were they're blaming Manchester United. They're blaming this. But I feel like Sanchez now has to get it now because it's been way too long now.
Wait,
Have you been thinking about this for a while?
100%.
I think this is maybe 3 years too late.
I don't mind.
Have we started?
It didn't happen.
This is cap. How can? Did they not say that Mkhitaryan to Arsenal won the deal when they swapped Sanchez and Mkhitaryan? That in itself,
that's it.
And Mkhitaryan had dropped off as well.
Yes,
so that
that's
in
correct.
itself,
But then it ended there.
no.
Look
What
how
do you
many
mean
people
ended?
hammer Lukaku.
Everyone said
Look
he's
how many people
washed.
hammer Werner.
Everyone said he's washed. He went to Inter after washed. No one talked about him again. He was washed.
It was too quick. Like it was done too
And
quick.
the drop off was started to happen that season at Arsenal. For the Arsenal fans, they'll know.
Yeah, that's true.
Towards the end of his time at Arsenal, he wasn't looking the same. Maybe they thought it's because he wanted to move. He wasn't happy. Went to Man U and was woeful.
Jeez, Tom, what are your thoughts?
It was the beginning of the end. Whenever you're switching anyone with Mkhitaryan, you know that there's no chance they're coming back from this.
See, I like
But
this.
he went to United and was.
Shut up.
I like this. See,
He was
I brought it to
terrible.
the table. Now we're discussing. This is nice. This is what I
That's
like.
not a good shout.
That's no. He had to get it today
Pause.
because I've been hearing Lukaku and I've been like, yes, all right.
Because we're in the moment.
I'll take Werner as well. Werner's been 3 seasons now. Thank
We're
you very
in the
much.
moment, cuz.
3 seasons.
It's
That's
the
not
moment,
in the moment
though.
still.
They were still giving
You
him a
guys are still
chance.
hammering
They were still
Werner.
giving him a chance.
He's in his mid-30s now.
Who?
Alexis Sanchez. He got to
Mid-30s.
move to Marseille. Like he's on the back end of his career.
He's
I'm not, whoa,
This
I'm
dude's
not
done.
saying this moment in time. I'm not saying Alexis Sanchez now. I'm saying when it happened.
So you're saying
he
you
didn't
wish
cop this.
we could have had this
100%,
conversation
yeah. I wish this
4
podcast
years ago.
was made 4 years ago because this would have been the most.
If it
this would have
was,
been the
good
biggest.
shout. But
This would have been
it's
the
not.
biggest thing at the time.
Yeah.
Look, for me as an Arsenal fan, I reckon the last 5-6 games, or maybe even 8 games before he left, we start to notice, this guy's dropped off big time. He became predictable. Teams figured out he only cuts in from the left to the right every single time. He wasn't effective. So when he went to United, I think it was common knowledge that this guy, what happened to this guy? He's terrible.
Absolutely.
He's ineffective. He has no influence on the game. He's
No
not scoring goals.
explosiveness.
He's not quick. So I don't know. For me, I thought maybe that was something that everybody knew, but I hear it. Like it's true that he had a drop off, but I think his drop off was years ago.
You know, when Bud was saying it, I saw MJ trying to move out of the shot. He was moving over to the side. He's not trying to get caught on TikTok again.
He's one of the 3 people on the pod that were trying to sweep it on the rug. Him, Kirumi, and Jezza.
Just up.
I mean, like, you're right, but
You're just not right.
I think it
today.
just is a natural progression for a player at the end of their career.
We'll settle.
Because
on that.
how old was he when he went to United? Do you know?
I think he was 29. something like that.
Deny production. Can
Prime,
we just get a fact check?
Like prime years still.
It's good that we got production in
But
the
I
building
also think
today.
his primaries were a bit later as well. Like he did peak
20
later on as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You know,
His
'cause
best seasons were at Arsenal.
Yeah.
100%.
By far.
So
Yeah.
29.
yeah.
That's
So you're
still
moving
good.
into your 30s. You
But
go to the
still
Italian
got
makes
good
league.
sense.
years. You should still have.
He should have been.
You shouldn't drop off that
He
much.
should have been better than he was at United, but he
Is-
wasn't.
Is his job worse? Let me not say this player because someone might have him. I'll say it if someone says if this player.
Okay. That's cool.
Well, I'm gonna kick mine off.
Go.
We actually spoke about this player after the Villa game, or during the Villa game. I think it was one of those things where you're watching the guy and you're like, hold up, like, is this the same guy that we raved about? He lit up the Prem when he was in the Prem first, and that's Coutinho. I think such a talented player, exciting player, so much ability, and we're just kind of seeing a
Shell.
nothingness.
You know what I think? If Jeremy was on the show today, he would say this. He's seen Coutinho like this every 6 games. He would play like this. This is what he would say. He would say, he was never consistent. So I feel as though this, which is right now, I kind of have to agree because last season, even when we saw the final game of the season against City, he looked phenomenal.
Yeah, and then what did he do for the 5 games before?
That's what I'm saying. And then he goes into these games where he looks terrible.
Comes into Villa, scores 2 and 2. Yeah. Looked incredible. Didn't do anything for 8 games in a row. And
then I wouldn't be surprised if next week or in 2 weeks he plays phenomenal again.
But he was like that at Liverpool as well.
Yeah, he was inconsistent.
He would be
definitely
not to the drastic measure that Jeremy says for 5 and 6 games.
Yeah,
but I would say probably every 3rd game he would put in a 4.
Yeah, he was,
and you'd just be wishing that he'd get dragged because he doesn't do anything when he's playing like that.
Yeah, and everything he tries doesn't work.
It's
like, and he offers you nothing other than the things he does with the ball. And when that's not happening, he's a poor player.
But he's looking old as well. Like he's not even old.
He's 30 this year.
But
no
explosiveness, which is like,
but
nothing.
He doesn't look strong. He doesn't look quick. He's lost all his agility.
Yeah.
On the ball, he looks devoid of any sort of inspiration.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And to think that this dude was nearly 150 million pound player 4 years ago.
Yeah, that drop off is insane.
Oh my God.
The drop off is insane.
Because he's been to some big clubs.
Barca, Bayern.
Bayern. He's won the Champions League.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you
won league titles, Champions League, and then back to
you have an expectation
Villa.
that you should just be better, especially in that Villa side. He has to be the guy. Week in, week out, he's the guy.
And he doesn't look it.
He doesn't look it at all.
He's not at all.
I got a question for you, Liverpool boys over there.
Yeah, man.
Had he not moved to Barca, do you reckon he would have gotten better or stayed the same?
Well, the season he did move, he was in his best ever form. I think he had like 8 goals in 14 games. Something, it was insane.
Yeah,
something
he
like
moved
that.
halfway through the year.
Yeah, he was playing his best season, and he left, and that I think definitely allowed us to switch our system to what has become effective for us now.
Yeah, but I also think Klopp wouldn't change his system for Coutinho. So he would have had to drop back from the position that he plays, and then
because he is a number 10, and he was playing wide in the system.
Yeah, and I think as soon as you sign someone like Mane, who's a natural winger, gives you the pace and directness that Klopp needs.
Yeah,
I mean, where does he fit in?
Not really. That's why he was playing on the right.
I think that's also another reason why you say, okay, Klopp's come in with an idea. He knows what his midfield wants to look like.
Yeah,
someone's going to offer 150 mil. You say, all right, this is our chance to
shake
move on.
him. And then
Let's
we go
go.
and sign Alisson and Van Dijk. Make the team better.
Yeah,
you go. No, you go. I was just going to say, that Coutinho transfer was probably the start of Barcelona's debt problems.
Yeah, I think
150.
I think the Usman Dembele one, and then that
Neymar, that
one after the other.
selling Neymar,
back to back.
and then
And Suarez going for free?
so I was going for free.
Wins
They're
the league.
terrible.
You're
Griezmann 120
And then how much did Griezmann go back for? Like 30?
loan. Yeah,
Interesting. Do we think Coutinho can have a good season this year?
no. I just think he's going to be inconsistent. I think there's going to be games where he performs, but I don't think he's going to do it often enough.
He's
and
talented enough to perform.
and I don't think Villa are good enough for him to look good every week.
I don't know.
It's an interesting
We
one.
got to witness I'm going to
He's
say
a
the 2
strange
worst coaches in the Premier League play against each other on the weekend. Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard are 2 of the worst coaches, I promise, I've ever seen. How can both sides have no tactics? They look shit. They have no shape.
No structure.
No structure. Their signings that they made just aren't seeming to gel, aren't seeming to fit in, look good. And then they just put that show on. That looked like League 3 England, that game. It was horrible. For teams that spend hundreds of million for a transfer window, that game was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's proven that Everton's had the worst transfer window I think we've ever seen.
Terrible.
But that's for another day. That's for another day.
That's back-to-back transfer windows.
Yeah, that's
Sammy,
spent as well.
Who's your dude?
My one, I think this one has been happening for about 1 to 2 seasons, I'd say. I feel as though 2 seasons ago he wasn't as great, but because they were winning, it got overshined a little bit. But I think everyone could see that he was on the downgrade, and that is Roberto Firmino. For me, Firmino has experienced a complete drop off. He doesn't look the same player he was once, and it's hard for someone to tell without watching the games because he was never a stats guy. He was never someone you'd look at in the game and think, oh, he's scoring heaps of goals this season. And so you couldn't just see the drop off. Like when Aubameyang stopped scoring, you could see the drop off was him not scoring anymore. But with Firmino, the goals aren't too different from what they were before. But his performances now, he looks shocking. Like I don't even want. I really like him, but I do not want to see him play anymore. Like I can't see him play anymore.
It's getting to the point where like he can't even keep the ball
At all.
He can't use his body. He's too slow to use his body to get in between the player. He can't even make simple passes.
No finishing
This
ability
guy-
at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
I
And he
can't.
used to be able to drop deep,
Yeah.
turn and pick a pass or glide past the player and play.
He was a
play
good
through
link.
ball, but
Now he's
Now
no
he's-
link. You saw him against
now he's
Fulham.
nothing. And he's not even winning tackles. The thing that
No,
everyone was like,
yeah.
oh,
He
we're
used to be
so
the
good winning
pressing
ball up
guy.
front. No.
Yeah. But now he's I promised you one of the worst nines in the Premier League. Like, and I think you think I'm capping because what does he do? If he's not the link anymore, he's not the false nine he was before, he's not scoring any goals, he's not creating any goals, what does he do? That's a terrible forward now.
Fair enough.
For me, I feel like you guys being Liverpool fans, there's always been a comparison between Firmino and Lacazette. So I've been watching
Sure.
Firmino, and in my mind, I've thought how you feel for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
This isn't news to me. I felt like that for a couple of years. In my opinion, I don't think Firmino has been at a close to good enough standard for
2 years.
multiple
The season we
seasons.
won the
At
league
least
is the
2
year
years.
we definitely noticed the drop off because although we were winning, I think the next season they brought in Jota for a reason, and you could see Firmino was really on the decline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if Klopp didn't love the guy personally, he would have been gone last year.
And the thing I've noticed, every Liverpool player comes out and talks about how good Firmino is. If I could build a five-a-side team, he's in my five-a-side team. If I could do this, Firmino's that guy. Best, most techie players at the club, Firmino. Then I watch the games and I'm thinking,
How?
Could it be a confidence thing though? Like, could it be he's not playing?
I don't think he lacks
I feel like
confidence.
he's like a player that feeds off like energy. So when
I
you
think
guys go
so.
on like runs, he tends to play better. So like when Liverpool pick up a couple wins, or he gets that assist, or he wins the tackle, I think he feeds off that, and that could be. Now it looks worse because he's not playing. You're not really seeing him.
Sure,
When he
but-
comes on, it's one game, and then he's out for 6.
But we've been going on runs for like the last
we're one of the best
however
teams in the
long.
world.
But I think without him though,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So I feel
But
like
we still win when he plays. Now when he starts,
Yeah.
there's never a guarantee that he's going to even make 60 minutes.
Do you think you guys just need him less? Do you think he just doesn't suit the system the way you play?
Well,
Or is it just him as a
No,
player?
I
He's
think
just
it's
not
just
good
I think it's
enough?
just him as a player. His quality's dropped.
it's dropped
I mean, I see him on the
I
ball
hear
and I
that.
have no confidence he's going to keep it.
at all. Like when he comes short to receive the ball and he's deeper than the two midfielders, I'm literally scared that he's going to lose it and they're going to go and counter.
Because I think if you compare him to Lacazette, he doesn't lose the ball. His problem was he lacked the physicality and the positioning to get into the good areas to score.
Definitely.
Whereas I feel like with Firmino, he doesn't even have that
Doesn't
ability to keep the ball.
anymore.
He's not really
He
keeping the
doesn't have
ball.
it at all.
He's not really linking. He's not really doing much of anything. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's like
He's just around at the moment.
it's like the coach's son or something crazy.
the Veneer brothers.
Should we get Tom's in before? Yeah.
Want me to say mine?
Tom, yeah, you go.
Yeah, Tom, run it.
Yeah. So mine is someone that I think Bud's going to have a lot to say about. And I would also love to hear Jerome. So Jerome, get in the comments because I would love to know what you say about this. It's a young player and it's someone who's been in and out of the squad and it's someone who was about to go to Bayern Munich for 40 million. Demanded 100k a week. Thought he was the best young player in England. And that's Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Hey.
Do it.
I just think like you were touted as one of the best young players in England.
Since
You were
17.
sick. Bayern were going all out to try and buy you at, what was he, 18 I think he was at the time.
Yeah.
Chelsea did everything they could to try and keep you. They gave you a fucking massive contract. They put you in the team. You didn't perform. They tried you a different position. You didn't perform. I just don't know what this guy can do to reach his potential. Or like, I don't know what he's doing. He's not a wing back. He's not good enough to play on the wing.
The shape they're playing does not suit him.
100%.
But he also hasn't adapted his game to be able to play in this shape. And also, when they were playing a shape he could fit, he didn't play because he wasn't good enough.
But also, he's on the wing and he was one of the most techie.
Yeah.
Like
1v1 exciting.
He was so good 1v1. He was
Yeah.
exciting. He was direct. He was fast. And now you see him on the ball and this guy's like jogging up the line, putting his foot on it, playing back into midfield.
Yeah.
Like, we just need to know what is going on with you.
Bud, what do you reckon the injury was that the thing that kind of just derailed?
How old is he?
22 maybe?
22, yeah. I think
Because that was a pretty big injury to get.
21?
Yeah.
He's only 21.
120k. I don't think it's the injury. I think it's I feel like the fame side of the whole like being a star for England or being that new winger for Chelsea got to him a bit. I feel like he got the money, he got the 120k, and he's almost kind of just settled for playing here and there. He doesn't even look like he wants to play like or start. When you see him come on, it doesn't look like a player that's trying to
Hungry.
like, bust his lungs to get into the starting lineup. It's like he's like content with just coming on here and there, playing the cup games and stuff like that. So it's for me, it's like it looks like he's just kind of like, yeah, I've got the money.
Yeah.
I'll run this contract out and then I'll see what like my options are.
It's not like when you see someone like Martinelli come on because he looks hungry. He wants to
100%.
play. He
He's
wants
a
to get in the
mentality
team.
machine.
And he's someone
Different.
who's much better than
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi now. I'm not saying technically he's much better,
Yeah.
but he looks
You can tell.
hungry
He is,
and
though.
he's a better player than
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi.
He's much better at the moment.
I think because at the time when Hudson-Odoi like broke out, there wasn't really that many like England wingers that broke out with him at that time.
Yeah.
It was the only one. So he kind of just took it and was like I'm
Yeah.
that guy now,
Yeah.
untouchable. And this is what happens.
Do you think it's similar to someone we talked about a couple of weeks ago, Marcus Rashford?
I think the
Yeah.
Rashford one's different.
I think they're quite similar though, because I feel like, in my view, when Hudson-Odoi got injured and he came back, he looked like a completely different player off the bat. It's not like he came back and you could see glimpses of his former self, and then he, the money side, the mentality side went. I personally feel like his game changed.
Yeah.
His confidence in his ability to take
Achilles.
people on.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty big injury,
Yeah,
Achilles
100%.
injuries, and I think that's probably part of the reason why maybe we don't see the same energy and the same dynamism in his game. Aggressive.
Yeah. It makes
But-
sense. But also the drop off is too much.
It's too. Yeah, it's
100%.
massive. So
It's too much. That was good.
I just brought him up because I'm still seeing people back him like
It's-
back. So
beyond
It's gotta
belief.
stop.
It has to,
It's gotta
it has to stop after
And
this season.
You could maybe back him because he is so young, but at the same time, like
At the same time, we never really
you need to build on
football moves
Yeah.
quick, man.
And
You know-
we never really saw it for the first team.
No,
It wasn't like he was playing week in, week out, looking amazing, and then he got injured. It
Yeah.
was more, we saw clips of him. He came on, looked bright a couple times.
That's it.
England under 21s, he looked good. After that, it's like, did we really get to see anything at top level? Not really.
And I think because at that time Chelsea, Willian was
You didn't
was
need it, yeah.
declining.
But
We needed something to look forward to
yeah, in the
And
future.
It happened to be him at that time, so I think he kind of rode that as well. And it doesn't look good now. It does not look good at all.
Yeah.
It does not look good at
he's
all.
got time.
No, he doesn't.
He's got time.
I'll give him one more season. This season,
One more season.
not even a season. He doesn't even want to
I don't-
play. So
I don't
it's like
even
if he
think about him, bro.
He
Up-
gets better.
he could, but it has to be like a team that's
Like Villa.
yeah, like a
Yeah. I don't think he can't move up.
He can't.
No.
He can't go up from this standard up. No way.
I don't think he goes and performs anywhere.
Bayern will give him one game. If he signed for Bayern, they would have given him
They
one game
should've.
and they would have been like, mate, you're not. Nah.
He
Bayern
sh-
have some demon wingers though,
Yeah.
so I just don't think
That's what I
Chelsea
mean.
should have
He
sold him when they
drowns.
had the chance.
Yeah, 100%. Let him go. Good.
Everton.
Do you think? I don't think he's a better player than Demarai Gray at the moment. I don't think he's a better
I don't
player
think
than
he
a
is.
More
Iwobi.
potential than them, probably. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, more
Yeah,
potential.
yeah,
you're
definitely.
going to want to take the risk.
You have to.
But I don't think
if you're Everton,
as a player
see
though.
their signings. Jeez. Talking about Chelsea though, Chelsea Tottenham, interesting game.
Yes,
Yes, it was.
That's football. That one. That's football.
The energy of this
That's
game
old school footy.
is
though.
old
Yeah,
school.
that's the one.
Man,
This is old school football. I loved every second of it.
I've never. I can't remember the last time I've been this excited to watch a Chelsea game.
Yeah.
Like the last time was probably 2012 when Mata whipped out ball in. Far post.
Wow.
Near post header. Neuer couldn't even get there. That's
Every
probably the last
week
time I
he
had that
talks
much
about this.
excitement.
Every week, and I don't even think
Goose
Mata took
bumps.
the corner.
Mata did take it. Mata, you know,
He can't talk about it this much ago.
Yeah, that's
Mata was like to Drogba, don't worry, we're gonna get the goal. You're gonna win us the game. And Mata was right. It was just a little flick on.
every week he talks about.
Best keeper Neuer couldn't do shit. But yeah, let's continue.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I was saying, I haven't been this excited to watch Chelsea play in so long. Like it reignited something in here.
yeah.
Like
It would
it
have.
was good football. It was, we weren't just
He didn't even win,
play.
though.
Like it was proper
That's
full
so
ball.
funny.
Like it was nice. I didn't even want to go to bed anymore. By the way, in Australia, games are like 3 a.m. I was like, I'm watching this whole game. This was crazy.
My worry is that you're this excited over a draw.
a draw.
Draw, yes. We deserved the win though, and no one
Sure.
can say we didn't.
Yeah,
But-
I agree.
I feel like if certain calls went our way, we could walk away with the win. If certain players could finish, we walk away with the win.
He's got to go.
Those chances that we had, I didn't think would hurt us until they hurt. Like until obviously they hurt us.
Yeah.
But when they happened, I was like I was still so excited. So when Havertz missed, I was like, oh, it's all right. You
Next
get the
one, next one. Yeah.
Next
And then
one.
at the end of the game, I'm like, fuck this guy, man. Respectfully, Havertz, come on, man.
Yeah, I think this is the same kind of hunger and intensity and desire as that 15-16 Chelsea Tottenham game at Stamford Bridge. That's the OG one. This one though, it lived up to it.
100%.
There was bloody hair pulling, coaches fighting, Mourinho style running down the sideline
Yeah.
celebrating.
Instagram stories after.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that?
That's lit.
These
Yeah.
guys are like 70 years old.
Conte's a baby.
Posting on
What's wrong with
Instagram
you?
Conte's not that old.
and like putting the laugh thing and then
Yeah.
translating it
It's
for people.
so funny.
for
It's
other
so
people to
funny.
get. That's
For
crazy.
both of his audiences.
Yeah, it's actually so
It
funny.
makes you just wait. Like you just can't wait for the next game.
And
now.
his
Oh, I
ex-Chelsea
can't wait.
coach won them a league, and
That's
he's
what I-
doing that shit. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
As a Chelsea fan, you don't know what to do because
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
this guy want us to leave.
You
But
brought
this guy
us-
want us Champions League. So it's like, fuck. You just gotta watch it. You just gotta be like,
It
take
was
no
sick.
side.
It was sick.
Yeah.
Are we disappointed in Tottenham the way they performed? Or is that the expectation?
No, see, I was thinking about it. So here's my thing. I was thinking about like, what am I going to say? Whatever. When I watch the game, what am I thinking? Because I went into the game expecting a much better Tottenham performance.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, this is disappointing. One, Chelsea are much better than what I thought they were going to be. The signings all playing extremely well. They look good. Koulibaly scoring the most techie volley I've ever seen.
Say it again,
How
bro.
he's put that away. Anyway, yeah, opposite foot. But yeah, Sterling looked good as well.
Yeah.
Glimpses.
Yeah.
But then I thought like Tottenham away at Stamford Bridge, yes, has a couple teams got theirs last year at Stamford Bridge. But before the season, going away to Stamford Bridge is not an easy game against a coach who's so good defensively.
Yeah.
I think a 2-2 draw, it makes me think that Tottenham are the real deal because they were able to come back from being down at a very difficult ground to go to against a coach who's very good when they're up. And I think coming back, Harry Kane on the score sheet. And I saw a stat actually. They have since November, Tottenham have got the second most points from losing positions behind Liverpool. And that to me shows like
I think
the level they got to be at to win.
Facts.
I think going away, playing bad and getting a result
Exactly.
is undervalued in this league.
Yeah.
And for Tottenham to not play well, have their front three have stinkers
Yeah.
and still get a result and still one of them still get on the score sheet. I mean, that's really a title contending team.
And on top of that, they didn't rely on their signings. You
No.
know, they haven't played their signings yet
Yeah.
to start,
yeah.
which shows that he backs the squad enough to not rely on them. And I think when you look at in hindsight, you're like, all right, you know, why not? But I think long term, if he believes in the squad that much, they're only going to get better, especially when those new players come into the side who have quality. You know, Yves Bissouma, Richarlison can add value up front. You know, he's got good energy.
At the back.
So they can really only get better than that. And like we said earlier today, if you can come away from that playing like they did
and
get a draw,
yeah, that's what I think. That's what I took away from it.
Yeah.
it's impressive.
And you go.
I'm just saying my worry for Chelsea is you play that well, none of your front three score,
Yes.
and you have two centre backs that you're relying on for goals. Yeah. I don't know how long that can last, and I don't know how long a team that wants to be challenging for the top four, wants to be in the hunt for the title, can, you know, rely on their front three not scoring and missing easy chances. My worry is that they have no reliable striker and no one who's going to score the easy goals for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because Sterling is the guy who's going to score, but Sterling is the guy that we all know
He's going to
misses
miss.
chances.
He's going to miss the big one.
He misses chances, so he needs chances created for him, and he needs to create his own chances for him to get one on the score sheet. And I don't think Chelsea create enough for him, and he's not going to create enough for himself.
My question is, did we jump on the Tottenham hype too early?
I think so.
Is it still
was so good in the
you still
first
got to
game,
remember,
man.
it's Tottenham.
Yeah, that's true. But this is Tottenham, though.
Yeah.
Now that are coming back from behind 2-1 against Chelsea is a different Tottenham to what we've seen.
But they have done that to teams before in the league. They have beaten City without these players, this team. So my question is are we saying top four definite, or are we maybe now there's room for a challenge from other teams that will make the top four?
I think for me, maybe where people jump the gun is they might have expected Tottenham to play a beautiful style of football.
Yeah.
But I think the reality is they're never going to do that. But I think what we're going to see is a side that's going to lose less games than they would have last season. And I think they have better options now to create more goals and to win more games. So I think if we're looking at it from will they look nice? Definitely not, because I think that's what I realised watching the Tottenham versus Chelsea
And also
game.
they got another option when Richarlison came on, they went to 4-4-2.
Exactly.
And they were a lot better.
So they're a lot more dynamic
So
now.
now they've got options when they're not playing well.
Yeah.
They have someone of quality who they can bring on and change the formation and try and see if that works, which it did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They won. I mean, Richarlison came on quite early in the second half and they ended up winning the second half 2-1.
Absolutely.
So they got options.
Their bag's deep now.
And I'm kind of excited now already for when Chelsea go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
That's gonna be
I can't
sick.
wait.
If we get a draw a little in there, I'm saying we stay in the top, close to top four by January, and we sign a striker or something.
Where do you think Chelsea, after these two games, where do you think they're going to...
I still think we're gonna make top four. Like I said at the predict. I think if we stay in around top four up until January and we sign a good striker or something, or someone now, I think we'll make top four definitely.
Well, I mean, if you compare it to last season, you didn't have a striker who was hitting for you.
Yeah.
And you still made it.
True.
Yeah.
Top four. So it's possible. But
I
I think
the
this
other
season
teams are better now.
I think this season, exactly. I think the teams are better. Arsenal's better.
Arsenal's better. Tottenham's better.
City's better.
Exactly.
Is Chelsea better? I think they've
I think we are
they're
better.
I think they are
better.
Slightly.
I think it's debatable.
I
I
think
don't think
they're
you're worse, but I think you've had to change the way you played to not really get that much better. You might play better football, but is it translating in what you needed? Goals?
And I feel as though the areas
really.
they strengthened weren't the areas that needed drastic strengthening. I think 9. They needed a new 9. They didn't do that.
And they lost both.
And they lost both 9 options.
Yeah.
And they're sticking with 5 goal a season Kai Havertz. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What
Also,
happens.
Conte is going to be massive.
if he can stay healthy.
If he can
100%.
stay fit. My God, this guy was rejuvenated.
Yeah, but it's not like
Yeah, he's
it's
injured.
it's not a
He could be out
confirmed.
for a while.
Yeah,
Oh, is it Hammy?
Conte got
I think-
injured.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's
It didn't
that's the
look good
problem.
either.
But
I missed that.
no, it's
Where's
Coutinho-
Kovacic?
Conor
Kovacic-
Gallagher came on. He didn't look too bad, but
yeah. He had a chance as well to score.
I think he should have gone to Palace. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Fuck if they get Dion. It's game
that's
over.
what I'm saying. One signing,
Yeah, but then they still have no 9.
one signing, we'll go on top of the
Is
league.
Dion
Babe.
going to play 9?
Or we get that parasite. You never know.
Nah,
You
you
don't
don't
want
want him.
That parasite will score those goals.
You don't want him.
He would score those goals though. That's the thing. The goals you're talking about, Havertz missing.
Yeah, he would.
Ronaldo would score those.
but you don't want him.
You don't want
We don't
him.
want him, but
You become an overall
it's
worst
just
team.
a temporary thing to get into top 4.
Because Havertz was decent in the game in terms of his link up and actually getting involved.
Yeah, but
And he worked hard as well.
And you think Ronaldo's
gonna do
ever
that?
doing any of that shit? No.
I don't think we need Ronaldo to work hard in a team like with a 5 at the back. What do you need Ronaldo to work hard for?
I don't
Stay
know.
up there, score the goals.
Every team
I
that
think
has
you have
Ronaldo
to.
in recent years is showing that you definitely need it.
Especially because
I don't know.
you lose a
Ronaldo-
midfielder when you play 5 at the back.
Call me. We'll talk.
And you lose
So
a player
need-
when you have
need one of
Ronaldo
the
up
forwards
front.
to
Get out.
I
That's
feel
another
like
story.
Tuchel's probably wishing he was at PSG now with the striking options
Yeah,
and the
fact.
beef that's going on there.
Hell no. You think he wants to be in that Farmers League? He left because it was boring.
No, he
Probably.
didn't. He got
Yes, he
fired.
did.
He got
He
fired.
literally got fired.
If
Yeah,
they
but he
asked him
left.
right now, coach PSG,
Or Chelsea.
he's taking that job straight away.
He's gone
You're
back
telling
to
me he's taking that job at PSG to
Look at their
come
front
first?
three.
To come first in a league
Look at their
that's
team.
yeah, but it's going to be boring playing against teams that you're going to beat anyway.
Nah, right. He wants to win Champions League at PSG.
He did win
He
Champions
didn't
League.
win it at
He
PSG.
bolted
You
them.
forget Tuchel won Champions League.
Yeah, he won it with Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly.
Big achievement.
Yeah, that's actually very big
Yes.
considering the team. we
Mbappe
had.
got him fired.
Yeah.
Mbappe is
And-
a
Just
dog.
like he's trying to fire
Who did you try and
Neymar.
get fired?
He's a dog. See the way that guy was
Mbappe-
moving? Jesus.
Do you guys feel like this? When Mbappe was up and coming, young, I was like, this guy is sick. He's cool. Like,
Cool
he's
as-
fast, exciting. And then now, I hate him. He is by far the most toxic player I've ever seen. More toxic than Parasite up front.
He doesn't smile either.
Bro, how can you guys be on a counter attack? They choose to go to the right side. You're not even open and free, and you completely stop.
What kind of
Didn't even face the game anymore. You're a dickhead.
how the coach didn't take him
I
off?
would have dragged him straight away.
Yeah, you can't. You can't take the owner off.
He would get
Let's
fired
be
if
real.
he takes Mbappe off. Mbappe's firing him the next week.
That's crazy.
It's actually crazy. I feel like because we started hearing about little noises during the Euros
Yeah.
about Mbappe, his ego, his this, his
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But I think it's really starting to we're seeing evidence,
Yeah.
pure evidence. Because what was it? Neymar found out
So,
that
yeah.
he wanted to get rid of.
He said he wanted the club to sell him, and he didn't know Neymar would find out, and Neymar found out. And usually you'd be like, it's just people talking. The most most recognized football media outlet from France came out and said,
L'Equipe?
this story. And then Neymar started liking tweets on Twitter, talking
love
shit
this
about
beef.
Mbappe and bigging him up. So he was liking those tweets. And then if you look at the game, those two do not have the way they interact with each other. They used to be best friends.
Yeah.
And now the way they interact with
bros.
each other. And because the thing was, apparently Mbappe came out and his idea of PSG was there's only enough space for two big names, two big stars that they can play together. And he said he would rather Messi because he can learn more off him and play with him for the next couple of years. And so he said, you guys sell Neymar, bring in players that are going to fit with me. And Neymar found out. And you see what's happening. Neymar's playing rejuvenated.
So good.
Yeah.
Back again,
He's
getting
so
on the
good.
end of everything.
Did you see that game? His performance was
Outstanding. That's
it was
3 games in a row.
outstanding.
3 games in a row, he's been outstanding.
I think Neymar's toxic, or he likes to be toxic because
Yeah, obviously.
he's using this as fuel to play better.
Yeah,
Where the
he
hell was he?
Yeah.
He
For the last
is.
season, where was he? Just partying and shit.
And-
We'll see up until February when it's his sister's birthday if this is a real thing.
And Neymar and Messi look to have reignited their chemistry.
Yeah,
They're in
yeah,
love
yeah.
again.
They look
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
beautiful.
They're just
I love
finding
it.
each other. And I think Mbappe's standing on the
They're
side.
just looking for each other.
He's
Mbappe's
jealous.
standing on the left.
Yeah.
Production
Yeah.
says something pretty cool. And pretty much was like if you look at mentality between Messi and some of the players he's played with, like Neymar, Suarez, Dino,
Eto.
but then now you compare it to Mbappe, and as soon as he sees a bit of competition, because this is what it is, he doesn't want to be second.
No.
It's okay to be second if it means you're gonna win and if it means you're gonna become better. But I think
and in a team sport, I don't know any player. He's not going to get dropped. So I don't know.
Well, he's the coach.
There's no point worrying
He's
about
the
that.
owner.
But in a team sport, why would you not want the best players on your team? It makes
Exactly.
no sense.
Yeah.
You're playing a team sport. You need 10 other players on the
You're
field.
also
don't you want to
You
win?
haven't won the Champions League. You want Neymar in your fucking team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also 23. Messi's old. Neymar's getting old. Your chance to win the Ballon d'Or will come. So it doesn't need to happen at 23.
Exactly.
You don't want to win every trophy there is to win. Why are you trying to get rid of your best players in order for you to be the main guy when you being the main guy is obviously not going to work?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you reckon this is going to become like a common theme
I
with
think so.
young super talents?
Oh, I don't know about all young super talents, but I think someone like him, idolizing Ronaldo, wants to be that guy. I think it was coming. Give him all the money in the world. You give him everything at his fingertips. He's in charge of signings. He has a say in signings, in players who leave the club, players they bring in, coaches they bring in. He has a say.
What
Why
for?
would you give that to a 23-year-old?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A 23-year-old who
He wanted to leave, by the way.
who wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And then that's what let him go then if that's the case.
Yeah, you make money anyway.
Yeah.
Let him go.
I got 1 point.
I mean, yeah, it would have been free.
Can we, if we look at Neymar wanting to leave Barcelona versus this situation, can we see parallels in terms of maybe the way they both think and how they view football? Or is it different? Is this not comparable?
I think when you look at Neymar's one, he had won everything there was to win at Barca. So I think his next challenge was to go and be the best player in the world. Whereas I don't think it was the right move, obviously, to leave in hindsight. But he wins a Champions League 2 years ago when they lose in the final. I think everyone forgets about that and he's gone and he's won the Champions League. But with Mbappe, you haven't won everything there is to win. You're only 23. Like, what? I can't realistically, I can't see why he would want to get rid of his best players when their goal, and I'm sure his goal is to win the Champions League. So their mentality in terms of maybe wanting to be that guy is similar. But surely Neymar, who's in his team right now, could tell him, bro, I left. I haven't won the Champions League since. I got to play with the best player in the world and I left. And you have your chance now. Don't stuff this up.
What do we think happens at the end of the season? Does this create a huge rift? Do we see
I think it happens
PSG just
during-
bottling this season? Or is this going to make them stronger? Because we're already seeing Neymar, he's showing a side to his game we haven't seen in a
He's
while.
fantastic.
We're seeing
The rest of their
Messi.
team's so good
So
as well.
is this what the team needs? A bit of toxicity, a bit of
I don't know.
to just become
Because
better.
the shape they're playing, the coach is playing, actually suits them perfectly. The 5 at the back with 2 midfielders who are going to work as hard as possible and then them 3 up front to just create and combine. It looks like it's working.
It's literally the worst timing for PSG though, because you had a Neymar that wasn't playing up to his level, just as Mbappe needed a contract.
Yeah. Same
So
with Messi.
They couldn't gamble and be like, all right, Mbappe, see you later. We got Neymar and thing here, but
That's
he
true.
wasn't like performing. So now that he's performing, and now that this guy's tied to a 5-year
Yeah.
deal.
5-year owner deal.
Jesus, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
I do see Neymar leaving though. I see it happening.
I think he goes and wins the World Cup this year and then he says...
he needs that.
Yeah, and then he says
I
I
hope
would
he
love
gets it.
that.
he
I
gets
hope
himself a
gets it.
Ballon d'Or and a World Cup this year.
France-Brazil final.
Yeah, I think he's got like 5 goal involvements already.
He's 1v1 with Kylian.
Yeah.
Does he?
Why would he be 1v1 with Mbappe?
Finesse pins.
Mbappe's the last man of the corner.
Jumps on Messi. Messi's watching in the crowd.
Messi's watching the game.
Messi hands him the trophy at the end. That would be the dream.
I think, yeah.
FA Cup season's back.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Australia Cup. Do we like the name change?
No, I don't like it.
What? Why do they need
FFA Cup
FFA Cup
sounds
feels
hard.
like prestigious.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's
it
been happening
sounded
for
cool.
100 years.
Yeah.
Australia Cup.
Australia Cup.
All right,
It's
we
like
aren't going to
for
talk
booners or
any trash about Australia Cup.
no.
We're
No, we
just
love the
saying
cup. We love the
it's
cup.
the greatest tournament in football history. But
It's the best thing that's happened to amateur football in Australia.
definitely
For sure.
in the world?
Definitely.
For sure. And professional football.
But just the name FFA Cup sounded cooler. But Australia Cup, maybe one day we'll look back and think
That was really
Australia Cup. That's it. Yeah, that's
Sounds better.
What's that tournament that's everyone's favorite thing in all of Australia?
Australia Cup.
Australia Cup.
The Aussie Cup. Then they'll change it.
Oh.
Aussie Cup. That's what it's gonna be.
Aussie. Oh, Melbourne Cup.
soon. Australia Cup is going to be more popular than World Cup. You heard it here.
Yeah, that's facts. Well, better teams.
100%.
So how does it work? Why is it good? Like, how does it work? What about it? Like,
What makes it the best tournament in football history? Well,
for those that don't know,
I'm glad you asked, because basically every amateur team in football gets the chance to compete in this cup.
Jeez.
Whether or not you start 20 rounds back or whatever it is, whatever it takes for you to get there, you have the opportunity to get there. It gives a country where amateur football teams don't have the chance to play against professional teams, don't have the chance to get promoted, don't have the chance to take that next step. Owners of amateur football teams don't have the chance to see their teams play in front of big crowds against big teams, but they get the chance. This is the cup. Australia Cup. I love this play. I love this game.
Oh my God. The Aussie Cup.
That's incredible.
I was mad.
Just a little.
So yeah, that's why.
Just a little. Did you know fact?
Yeah.
There's 742,000.
Go again.
Just a little. Did you know fact? There's 742 clubs involved
Is there?
in the Australia
See?
Cup.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. 742
Yeah.
clubs around Australia who get the opportunity
Yeah.
of a lifetime to play against idols, even to play against players that they watch every weekend. You have young kids from Melbourne, 18-year-olds playing in competitions against players that play for Melbourne Victory, players that
That's
play
it.
for Western United,
Yeah.
players that play for Melbourne City. We've seen even Tim Cahill come back and play in the FFA Cup, but Australia Cup now. Like, that's a dream.
And score
that
a
was
bomb
wild.
in the final.
That's a dream.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
But now, on a serious note, the whole thing it's amazing. I feel like we've had experience. Some of us here have had experience being involved.
One of us behind the camera as well.
One of the dudes, Jeremy, that, Tom,
That's it, man.
Denai.
Even you as well.
You as well.
Yeah.
It's been
MJ.
cool. I feel like it just brings a whole new energy to Australian football that's been missing out. Because if we look at the FA Cup in the UK, similar thing, really.
Man, it's crazy. It's
Not
like
as good, but
it gives you a taste of what being a professional would be like, and it gives you an experience that outside of this competition you would never ever have.
ever.
So when we were doing it, it was like as soon as you finish your club game on the weekend, the vibe's different. Your training schedule's different. You got a midweek game. You meet up and they're like, okay, we've allocated the club this amount of tickets. What family members do you want to bring? You got to get in touch with them. It's like you got to be at the ground 3 hours early or 2 hours and 45 minutes early. You do your warm up here. This is when you get your strapping. You got to come in. You get a lanyard with your name on it and all that kind of shit.
You've
Yeah.
lived it.
It's just like
You've lived it.
it's cool because when else would I have that experience? Never. I'm
you've lived
never
it.
going to be professional, but you get the essence of being what a professional would be like on a small level when you make it to the.
And a
the
little did you know to the crowd, 3 of our members on this show made it to the semi-finals of the FFA Cup, Australia Cup. 3 players. Canberra Olympic got
Yep.
to the semi-final.
Fairy tale.
knocking out teams who beat A-League teams. So if anyone wants to chat about they didn't verse an A-League team till the semi-final, they knocked out teams who beat A-League teams. So if you think we don't play football, don't know football, 3 of our guys been there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Facts. And that's another good point about the Australia Cup, the Aussie Cup.
I love this cup.
It's just some of the, you know, it's the magic of the cup. You
Magic
see
of
a
the
lot
cup.
of NPL teams in the past 5-6 years.
Yeah.
They've done A-League sides.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, they've played very well. You know, some players have scored brilliant goals, and it's created opportunities. You know, some of these players
Yeah.
were in the A-League. So, yeah, it's amazing. It's
cool because you see, and it's not like one NPL team every 2 seasons beats an A-League team.
yeah.
It's 2 or 3 every single time that the cup's on.
It's elite.
It's not unusual for an NPL team to beat an A-League team.
Yeah. Well, even last week,
Yeah.
Sydney United beat
Western United.
Western United.
Reigning A-League champions, Western United, who came out with a strong outfit similar to that of last season's championship season. And Sydney United had the balls. They had the bottle, took them to penalties, and they said, come here, have this. Celebrated with their crowd. Western United went home packing.
Straight away on that
Went
team
home
bus.
packing. On pens, 5-4. That's elite. These guys train every day.
Yeah.
They have every resource possible. And these guys have other jobs.
Yeah.
You're versing players who have another job. They go home to their other job.
Yeah.
They finish work and go to training. You have all day to play FIFA, relax, go get a massage before training, see physio, go do your stretching 2 hours before
You
training.
play interstate, you got to submit leave.
Yeah.
You got to submit leave 2 weeks early.
You think the chefs in the team can play? No way, they gotta stay and cook.
Dudes are getting rejected for not having enough annual leave. They can't go play in Perth.
That's it. It's actually crazy.
I think the most interesting and real life part of the FA Cup for us was that away game in Perth.
What year was it? 2017.
2017?
Are we doing flashback?
We're doing
Yeah.
flashbacks.
You got a cloud above your head.
So we were playing for Canberra Olympic. We got drawn against a team from Perth. What was the team? Sorrento. And it's crazy, man. You get your flights paid for. You get your
That's the life.
you get a bus to and from training to the ground. If you want to go to dinner, you get the team bus. You get your hotel paid for.
It's so
You
sick.
I think you even get a meal paid for by the FA the night before the game as well.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like you turn up to remember when we turned up to the airport, everyone's got their tracksuits on. You know, we've got managers.
Initials
They've-
on them?
Yeah,
Initials.
They've
Yeah,
deflated all the balls so they can go in the carriage on the airplane. It's crazy. You get treated like
It's elite.
you're important.
Yeah. And for me, I had an exam the day that you guys traveled.
Jeez.
So
that's right.
So I went up. Was it the next day?
You came up the next day.
I went up the next day, and I milked this so hard. So I get to the airport. I've got shades on. I've got branded gear on, and everyone on the plane is looking at me like, "Oh,
He's got something, yeah.
It's Usain Bolt." But yeah, the whole vibe is so sick. I get to the airport. It's late. Everyone's asleep. They're like, "MJ, you can order food. Just be careful though, because FA Cup is paying for it." I think my meal was $70. I didn't even hold it. I was like, "Look, we're ballers this trip. You got to go hard." And yeah, the whole experience is amazing. Like, especially for semi-pro amateur footballers.
Yeah.
You really get to see what it's like and what the pros live like game in, game out.
Yeah, what the process is. You do that team walk through the city. You know, in Champions League when the away team train in the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go train. You do a day training in the stadium.
That's lit.
It's fucking awesome.
That's lit.
It's so cool. And they pay for 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
So the day before, the day of the game, and the day after. So it's 3-day away game.
Accommodation,
Accommodation,
flights,
flights,
food. That's sick.
food.
And then the night out after.
Night
that's
out.
what it's about.
That's it.
You're in a different city. You get to party. New
MJ
name.
spent his match payment on champagne that night.
That's for Let Him Shoot Only fans.
Is it true you guys went by the rule of new city, new name? I heard that was getting mentioned
New City, new name is so
There's
funny.
no comment for me.
I heard you went by Idris. Can you confirm if that was true or false?
No comment right now.
That's good. Nah,
No comment.
the magic of the cup, man. That's it.
But yeah, no, FFA Cup, it's amazing. And I feel like if there's any young viewers, you know, if you're not in A-League side by then, you got to get yourself into a good club that
And
can
get
compete
out
for
to the
that.
games as well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you got an FFA Cup game in your city, regardless of who it's against, the atmosphere is so different to any league game
incredible,
you'll
yeah.
watch. It's so different. Production is just on the madness at the moment.
Deny, man. What are you doing, bro?
That's yeah. FFA Cup. If you are in the city and there's an FFA Cup game on a midweek day, Wednesday night, Thursday night, you can go out, have a souvlaki, have chavapi, whatever it is. Go to the games, get yourself a couple beers. If you're under 18, get yourself a couple fire engines. Yeah. And that's it. Enjoy the game because the level of football is a good level of football
it's
to be
really
at
good.
when you're watching the games. And if you get to
100%.
watch A-League players pitch side, you're so close to the game. You can be at the fence. It's wonderful. It's magnificent.
And it's cool for like the states that only get one team. It's really cool because you see players that you play against on the weekend who might abuse you, who might like fucking 2-footy you or whatever. They're in the crowd with a beer cheering you on against an A-League team. Like the community spirit around the small teams, especially in Canberra, I think Northern Territory, Tasmania, I think only have one as well.
Yeah.
So it's like a massive community thing.
Yeah.
That is super important for small states as well.
And you feel that. Like as a player, you feel
You
that
do.
the whole of Canberra's cheering on Tommy
Yeah.
Mack, Jeremy, all these players. Like you can feel, and I think that's what adds to these small teams doing so well and beating A-League teams or beating bigger New South Wales or Melbourne teams because it just gives that energy.
And talk about the little kids after the games that come up to you like you're celebrities.
Yeah.
It's lit.
It's cool. It's really cool. People just think you're that guy. It doesn't happen in local football.
They did a book signing. They did a meet and greet in a
We
Westfield.
did a meet and greet.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think
I signed your book.
Yeah.
That's
I think I
lit.
still got
You
that.
still got
book.
that?
You got your team poster signed.
Yeah, but it was when they had the old name FFA.
Not Australia
So I
Cup.
might have to get
The
it.
better comp.
Can you do a
No.
little transaction? Like
Yeah.
swap?
You want me to?
Yeah, I want the.
You want a new
the
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australian Cup. Yeah. So FFA, if you guys are watching, sort my book out. Get that shit done, please, for free because I paid for it. So yeah. But yeah, Tom, tell us some more, man. I like this.
No, it's actually lit.
This is nice.
This is an experience that I'm pretty sure every single person that plays football in Australia wants to experience.
If you're not,
Yeah.
if you're not in A-League,
Yeah.
it has to be something that you strive
Yeah.
towards.
Yeah.
And I think the consensus around at least the people I know in our league is like, I'd bin the league off and win the cup.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
any-
go-to.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's
Any
the
day.
go-to.
It's
There's
the
just
biggest thing you can do.
And the opportunities.
Yeah.
You literally, anyone across the country is watching you play.
Yep.
So that could be the right.
Yeah.
That could
You're
be the
on
right
TV.
coach.
Like I mean,
Anybody.
every
It was
game,
on Fox.
every game streamed, but this is Fox.
Yeah, paid
this is TV. Tara Rushton is doing the halftime review.
Yeah.
How lit is
She
that?
could mention your name.
Yeah, and you know who she gets to hang out with every day? Cooper Cronk.
Yeah, he's
What's better than Cooper Cronk?
Nothing.
the Aussie
Nothing
Cup.
is better than
The Aussie
The
Cup
Aussie
is.
Cup.
The Aussie Cup, man.
That's the greatest tournament in football history, Aussie Cup.
Man, the one thing that would be my greatest wish is to beat an A-League side. I don't even want to win the cup. Just beat that A-League team.
Mm-hmm.
Get knocked out next round. I don't care.
You're going to have the chance to beat Heaps when you play for Victory next year.
That's it. You beat him. I'm going back to my hometown untouchable. I'm not going to work. I'm not
Where
doing
you
nothing.
think I'm going to work?
Hell no.
Again?
I'm
for a year?
I'm calling in sick, and I'll tell
Definitely.
the boss. I'll be like, look, I'll call you when I'm ready to come back to work.
Yeah.
I don't even
Don't
care what he
contact
says.
you.
Exactly. Block his number straight away as soon as
Yeah.
you send that message, so you don't have to see the response.
Yeah, nothing. Tell
Yeah.
him, don't contact me, nothing. Don't come to my house. Don't send me emails. Don't
That's
send me
it.
letters.
Turn everything on offline.
Yeah.
Browse through everything offline mode.
And no one who wasn't talking to me before we won against the A-League team,
Exactly.
you're not allowed to talk to me after.
If you
I don't
wanna
want a congratulations. I don't want anything from. If I don't talk to you already,
Yeah.
don't catch me after I'm famous.
If you want to eat breakfast at dinner time or dinner time at breakfast, do it. Who cares? You
Yeah.
just be A-League team.
Yeah, that's
You're gonna do
Australian
that
Cup.
once. Yeah.
Australia Cup,
Live in
baby.
the moment. That's what I say. People
That's
who
it.
are watching, live in the moment.
Fact.
Be the A-League side and go do whatever you wanted to do.
That's it.
Well said, man.
That's it.
Damn, that's words to live by.
100%.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
Let him
good.
shoot.
Let's go. That's it. I love this
That's it.
game.
I hope you guys been inspired by this episode.
Yeah, I love the Aussie Cup.
Yeah.
Aussie
Australian
Cup. That's gonna be my
Is
new
it-
ad lib.
That's the best thing that's happened in Australia.
Yeah, I think
Besides
so.
state of origin, maybe.
I think the referendum bit higher, but
Yeah.
this one's pretty good.
And the anthem. Don't forget when the anthem dropped.
Yeah, when they dropped it.
Yeah,
When it dropped on iTunes. Yeah, when Australia dropped it, it was pretty.
When it leaked.
That was hard.
Bro,
That was hard.
Most awaited track in Australian history. The
Yeah.
anthem.
Have you heard it?
When the anthem leaked.
Yeah.
Who do you reckon posted it on YouTube?
Australians. Oh.
Who posted it?
John Howard.
My gov.
My God.
All right.
Man, it's getting too late.
Oh shit. Late
Thank you
nights.
for watching, guys.
Stay tuned for Let 'Em Shoot OnlyFans.
That's
After
it.
this.
Peace.
Yes, sir.